Welcome back. It's your boy, Ben Humble, here on the Daily Data and Drama Show. Ben, we got an amazing episode for you guys today. A lot of small business owners around right now that are struggling, looking for answers, looking for something to do, looking for an opportunity, looking for money, looking for, dude, it's time to get some clarity and some answers. So I've got an amazing show for you guys here today. Let's get right into this, man. I want to bring on a very special person to me, somebody who's mentored me over the last little while, somebody who's really had a massive impact in my business. You know, I went to a business mastermind. You guys know I go to mastermind groups and things all the time, but I went to one life-changing event called Burn the Ships, and I was, dude, it was awesome. That was awesome. Last week, you know, I had Judge Graham on here, who's one of the owners of that company. I've got the other man here. I want to welcome my special guest here, Mr. Matt Manero. This dude is a rock star, man, CEO. Dude, you've done over $1 billion in business already, more than 10,000 clients, written 2 awesome books here, and you've been in the business a long time. So welcome to the show, Mr. Matt Manero. Good to see you, my man.
Dude, always good to see you, Ben.
All right, man. All right. So where are you at right now? It looks like you're super comfortable right now.
I'm at the lake escaping the coronavirus. Out on the boat, burning boat fuel, and I'm in here working, man. So that's just the way it is. I mean,
you got your family with you. You guys are hanging out.
Way to tell you the truth.
I love it, man. I love it. I'm so happy you're here for the show. We're going to dive into a whole bunch of stuff. So, folks, if you're a business owner, you need to check out today's show. It's going to be powerful. Before we get started, dude, I'm going to drop some little funny, all right? Because, you know, we all about the funny. Joke of the day. Let's hit a joke of the day with Mr. Matt Manero. I like to put people on the spot. All right, here's the joke, my brother, because we're talking about burn the ships today. What does a dyslexic pirate say? Come on, Matt. If you guys know at home, drop the answer. Matt, what do you think a dyslexic pirate says?
Oh, dude, I don't have any idea. He would say...
I don't think he'll say that.
What's he saying? All right, the answer is... Rah. You get it? Come on, yo, give me some love on that. That's, that's like one of those, what's that show? A Tiger Man, Tiger King, Tiger Brother? What's that called? The Tiger Man show?
Popular show.
That Tiger Man show. That's a Tiger Man joke right there. Okay, we're jumping to data and drama. This is the segment of the show where we go in and we ask you if this is data or drama. Is it noise or is it right? And I'm going to ask Matt and those of you guys at home to participate with us. Check it out. 20% of businesses fail in their first year, and by the 10th year, a total of 70% of those businesses fail. Matt, is this data or drama? Vinny, give us some data drama music here real quick. Come on, Hans. What do you think, man? Is that accurate?
Dude, that's definitely data. In fact, the data is even higher than that.
Folks at home, do you agree? This is a seasoned CEO right now, so probably pretty close. So, in fact, it is data. Absolutely. 20% of businesses fail in their first year. 30% fail in the second year. 50% of small businesses fail after 5. And finally, unfortunately, 70% of small businesses fail in their 10th year of business. Dude, that's rough. That's why we need you on the show, man, because we need to talk about this stuff. By the way, if you guys are interested in real estate investing and you are in Canada, I wrote a book here called Real Estate Secrets Exposed. Learn how to actually make money virtually, which is cool, from the comfort of your home. Yes, it is possible if you understand the value and how to do wholesaling. And if you don't know anything about wholesaling, you need to grab this book. It's absolutely free. There's no page numbers. There's nothing else in there. It's just ready to go, though. Humble.ceo to grab your free copy. Let's jump into the meat and potatoes of it, Matt. I'm so thankful here that you're on the show with us today. For those of you guys that don't know, Matt runs a company called Burn the Ships. And this is another one of his companies that helps small business owners and medium-sized business owners truly grow and scale a company. And I had the pleasure of going to hang out with Matt and Judge and a group of other really strong business owners. And I gained absolute clarity, you know, in the time that I spent with these guys. So it was powerful. So Matt, I want to jump into it real quick. The current climate, man, people are scared. People are afraid. You know, people are trying to figure out what to do as a business owner. Give us some insight, dude. What should people be doing right now? Do they have a right to be scared? A reason to be scared?
Yeah, man, it's the real deal. I mean, there's no question about it, dude. I mean, when you have Macy's laying off 100,000 people and Neiman's laying off 30,000 people and JCPenney laying off 80,000 people. I mean, we had, you know, in the States, we had 3.2 million unemployment claims last year. We're probably going to have close to 4 million this week. I said last year, I meant last week.
Wow.
it's the real deal, dude. I don't believe the coronavirus is the real problem. It's the economic fallout after the coronavirus that's the problem. So, you know, if you're a business owner, dude, you need to be really battening down the hatches. I mean, this is no joke time. But listen, here's the big deal. And you know this from your real estate. For every sell, there's a
buyer.
There's a buy.
Yeah.
So for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction, dude. And that's the piece of the puzzle that so many people forget. When this bad is happening, something good is happening on the other side.
I got to drop a bomb for that. That's a bomb right there, because you folks need to realize that. Keep going. I love this truck.
You got to spend your time finding out the other side of the trade. What could be done on the positive side to combat the negative? Because, dude, I've been in business a long time, and we can begin to really let our world close in on us, Ben. And it can go like this, and we can't see a way out. The whole here is to recalibrate and see things differently, because we'll all get through it. Everyone's good. I shouldn't say everyone's going to live. Lots of people going to live.
Sure.
Businesses are going to survive if they make some adjustments. Without the adjustments, it's very troublesome. And we can get very specific on what those adjustments are if you want. But the reality is, you know, we can kill ourselves. It's rarely the bite that kills us. It's the venom, man.
Dude, I need to hit that bomb. That's absolutely right. And I agree with you. That's why I love that you're a glass half full kind of guy. But you've been through 4 large economic kind of issues, even in your business in your lifetime. So how does this differ? Because we got a lot of business owners that maybe need a little bit more clarity on how the overall markets work. And how does this situation differ from, let's say, 2008 or previous massive bursts?
I think the primary difference is that the government is spending tremendous amount of surplus money to get this thing kickstarted again. Okay. Look, in 2008 and 2009, the United States stimulus package was about $500 billion. We're at $2.5 trillion in the States right now. The government is putting tremendous amount of money into this thing to try and fix the problem. Every business owner needs to go get your hands on the money and take some of this stimulus money. That's a primary difference. The second piece that's really different is there is tremendous liquidity at the banks. In 08, 09, dude, you couldn't get your hands on money.
It's tougher to get. Yeah,
the banks couldn't get their hands on money. It's not the case right now. There is tons of liquidity in the marketplace. So if you want it, you can get it. And the third thing that everybody needs to do is recalibrate.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by recalibrate? Because I've got an idea, but clarify for my folks, please.
Yeah, buddy. We got a little bit fat and happy. We got there was froth on the top. Everybody fell into what I call false positive in my book, You Need More Money. Hashtag false positive. It's where you think you're doing better than you really are. A reset. It's an opportunity for you to go home and tell your significant other, we don't got it like you thought we had it.
That's a tough call, though, to have with people, man. Clarify the false positive, because my understanding is we're all living on credit. We're all living above where we need to live. And then sometimes we get a kick in the ass. It's like, holy crap, we don't have the kind of reserves or the confidence we thought we had. What does that mean for the average business owner, the false positive? Are they really delusional, kind of delusional? How far are they off the reality, do you think?
Well, I think they're off the reality, Ben, of this reality. They were not too far off their reality, which was I could go 2 weeks or 3 weeks or maybe 4 weeks without a lot of revenue and carry the expense load. But when that drops by 80 and 90, and in some situations like a restaurant, maybe 100%, dude, it hits real fast. The reality is false positive kicks in like this, and it's a slow seeping thing, Ben. The bills don't come on pink slips anymore, right? You actually can go and drop $300 or $400 at the steakhouse with your friends. Maybe you're a little late on the birthday gift, so you go out and you buy the $2,000 Prada purse, and you can handle it. You can drop 8 or 10 G's to take you and the spouse and the 2 kids to Disney, and you'll be all right. False positive.
Right.
That's when it begins to take over, and you begin to think that you're doing better than you are. You're not broke anymore, but you sure as hell aren't what I call the 3 phases of wealth: broke, accumulation, and rich. And that's false positive, dude. When just because the bills don't come on pink slips anymore, and you can go to Disney, it has no bearing on whether or not you're financially secure.
you're living on borrowed time and borrowed credit. Let's be honest. People are kicking the can down the road. And you know, I've been talking about
different numbers, dude. They think that 10 grand in the bank is something.
Yeah,
right?
we're living in different, and I talked about creating. So what about creating your own realities? I think this is where people get stuck, is they're comparing their reality to the next guy's reality. Well, if my brother, who's a doctor, can go to Disney and take the kids, I'm an engineer, so I should be able to do the same thing. But he might live a whole different lifestyle than how you live, and we're comparing and trying to be like the Joneses, but the Joneses are broke as hell. Joneses ain't got no money. The Joneses have 2 cars, a nice home. They send their kids to good school, but they're living credit. Here in Canada, I know the U.S. is similar, but $1.85 of debt for every dollar of discretionary income. Dude, we've been in the red for a long time. You're not even in the black. All that happened was that all of a sudden you realize that you're in the red. So I think people just don't realize there's no fiscal and financial responsibility there, because you're right. If your reality changes tomorrow and your job is gone, are you really okay for 3 to 6 months or a year or two? Or do you realize how broke you really are passing the buck?
I think most people see that real fast, dude. And this thing wakes you up real fast. The challenge isn't where you're at. The challenge is whether or not you're going to repeat the insanity. Like in 08, 09, dude, we were probably a few months from busted out broke, right? In 01, 02, I went busted out broke. That took us out. 08, 09, we were damn close. And I said, I'll never do it again. So look, do I want my businesses to do well right now? Absolutely. Do they have to do well for my wife and my 3 boys to be perfectly fine and well taken care of? No. So for me, that's a very different experience. And there are, by the way, dude, there are a lot of people who are doing well. I think it's the misnomer. It's like when the real estate agent says, boy, there's a lot of people who have big houses and no furniture in it. Have you ever heard that one, Ben?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, let me tell you something. I've been in a lot of big houses, and there's a shitload of furniture. The house is fully furnished, and so is the ski house.
I've been in a lot of small houses with a lot of furniture too. I'm just saying.
So don't get yourself caught into that idea.
It's a narrative, right? People are just pushing their own opinion, and then all of a sudden it becomes like a status quo. But nobody validates the data, man. Right? We're living in this kind of false reality of somebody else's like opinions. Then we turn that somehow into a fact. So I agree with you, man, 100%. So you went through this process, which I think this is what kind of seasons you a lot in this, is that you've gone through a process where you all had to burn it down. Like you were ready to fold up shop. And I know your partner Judge on the mentorship side, he actually went bankrupt, right? He did the BK. And what does that do to you when you go through that process once? Because I think a lot of people forget 2008. A lot of new investors in the market. It seems like every 8 to 10 years, people forgot what happened 10 years ago. I was very, very lucky that I went through 2008 at the pivotal time that I did, because it helped solidify some ideas in my brain. I knew it could go bad again, and people keep forgetting that. So what does that do to you as a business Like, because we talked about this seasoning and being really, really prepared. How do you live with a fear, or do you live with an anxiety that you need to absolutely freaking crush all the time so you never end up back there again?
Absolutely. I mean, but who would have ever guessed the coronavirus? Who would have ever guessed that oil went to $20 a barrel? I mean, really, there's a lot of things that are literally out of our control. The biggest wake-up call I had on the topic you're talking about was when my brother-in-law got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer at 46 years old. He went to the doctor, dude. He just thought he was going to go get a steroid shot and go back to work the next day. He got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, and it rocked our family's world. He ended up leaving a wife and 4 children. He had no health insurance, no life insurance, and $100 in the bank. And it's why I wrote the book, You Need More Money, to help wake people up that, there's a million different ways for you to get kicked in the nuts and get your legs knocked out from underneath you. And it may not be you directly, but it could be somebody very close to you in your ecosystem, like it was for us. That was an awful, awful time. The one thing I would say to people right now is I don't care how much money you have or you don't have, or how positive or negative you feel about things. Everybody should go get their hands on some insurance. Everybody, at least in the States who are listening to this right now, you should Google term life insurance in your city. Go find an agent and buy as much as you possibly can. My brother-in-law, for $50 a month, probably could have had $100,000 or $200,000 insurance policy, and he left his family with nothing.
What a burden, right, that puts on you, because now you have to, at some points in our lives, some of us have to take on massive responsibility that other people say, well, it's not on me or not on whatever, but somebody's got to take the brunt of that.
I want to be that guy.
Dude, so do I. Because you know what? That's bravery and honor to me. Like, I came from communism. When I came here, my dad dropped me here in Canada, basically as a little kid, oldest of 9 children. I didn't know it back then, but my mind was like, I got this. And my dad said something to me one time. He said, you know what? He said, I wish I could have made more money in life. I was like, you don't need to make more money. You made me. Like, we good. We good. Trust me, you are good. You brought me to this country at 27 years old. He leaves, he risks his life to run with 4 kids across the border. So when I talk about the conviction and being willing to burn it, listen, folks, we got to wake up. We live in this cushy life, this fake life where we're living on credit. And then when something happens, we blame the crisis instead of taking responsibility for the fact that you haven't put money aside. You haven't put your family in financial stability. And now it's obvious and you're looking for people to blame. Blame yourself and get angry about it, but do something about it. And right now you're saying that you can do something about it.
Make sure to subscribe to Ben on YouTube so you can stay up to date on everything Humble, featuring daily episodes of the Humble Podcast and weekly video content providing motivation, real estate strategies, and personal development for everyday life. Also, follow Ben on Facebook and Instagram for daily interactions. Check out humble.ceo and download a chapter of Ben's new book, From Communism to Capitalism, absolutely free.
We blame the crisis instead of taking responsibility for the fact that you haven't put money aside. You haven't put your family in financial stability. And now it's obvious and you're looking for people to blame. Blame yourself and get angry about it, but do something about it. And right now you're saying that you can do something about it, right?
I think people should operate more fearful all the time, dude. Balance. I'm not looking for, unicorns and butterflies and all that sort of stuff. I need to make sure that I get my piece of the pie and that I am secure with my wife and my boys. And then I go out into the marketplace and try to help others. I see way too many people trying to help too many people and they haven't helped themselves yet. And I don't care if that comes across as harsh. That is the downright truth. Take care of your own ecosystem before you start trying to take care of somebody else's.
See, that's common sense. I'm going to drop a bomb on that right there. That is common sense. Folks, we all love the nobility or the idea of nobility and being able to serve other people, and I get it. I love serving other people. I would not be here doing this show. I would not be in a financial position to hire people right now. I'd not be in a position to be able to mentor people and have it if I hadn't taken care of myself and my family, my wife first. Listen, if the lion doesn't eat, the cub's not going to eat for long. And I know that some people say, well, listen, I got children. You self-sacrificing for another person is not noble. There's no nobility in that, folks, because all you're doing is that you're preventing the ability for you to help other people beyond that person. Oh, I did everything for my kids. Why don't you do it for yourself so that your kids can grow and take care of the next generation? We have this mental, I think this generational poverty, Matt, that goes from person to person to person. It's a mental poverty first. The government will take care of me. Someone else is going to take care of me. My job, whatever. And then when this happens, people's realities are rocked. Right?
Ben, if you don't mind, let me tell you just a real quick short story that put this all into perspective. Please. I was probably 14 years old, got a job in a restaurant, and the restaurant had started to serve brunch on Sundays. They'd never served brunch before, right? So my first shift at this restaurant was working on what they call the line in the kitchen, right? Cooking the food. Yep. They pushed me all the way to the end, and my job was to make the pancakes on this old beat up flat top grill that they found in like the storage closet, right? It was filthy, disgusting. And my sole job was to make the pancakes. And the place was getting pounded. All these other guys, like the owner of the restaurant was working and the 2 other guys on the line where they were just getting crushed with eggs Benedict and omelets and hollandaise sauce and all this sort of stuff. And I was just sitting there at the end doing nothing. These guys are sweating and they're just, it's chaos, right? Yeah. And nobody's ordering pancakes. I'm literally all by myself at the corner with nothing to do. I remember it like it was freaking yesterday, dude. Something snapped and I said, I better get my ass to work. And I started scrubbing that grill, dude. I took that spatula and I started scrubbing off all that grease, that disgusting filth that had been on that thing. Shine that sumbitch right up. It started looking like a new little griddle waiting for the next pancake order, right? And finally, I remember the owner down at the end screaming, would somebody order some effing pancakes? All this kid's been doing is cleaning the grill. I remember it like it was yesterday. Always bring fucking value. If you're taking a nickel, if you're taking a paycheck, you better bring value bigger than that paycheck. And still, to this day, I'm 51. I see so many people milking the damn clock who wouldn't even think to start scrubbing that freaking grill to justify their check, to get noticed by the boss, to do something beneficial for the organization that's paying them. And it drives me crazy. And those people in a time like this, they're the ones who are getting worked over, man.
Dude, that's entitlement. That is my biggest pet freaking peeve, entitlement. And I'm not saying that to hear it like criticize people. If you're sitting around right now being a victim, that's your choice. Nobody's making you a victim. I understand that there's medical issues and consequences and people getting sick. I get all that. Let's talk the financial though. If you're sitting there as a victim and you're not taking advantage of the opportunities that are in front of you, dude, that's on you. If you can walk through that door and tell your wife and your kids, listen, there's nothing out there for me, and you can do that with a clean conscience, go ahead. But I can't do it. Dude, I cannot do it because until I'm out there, blood, sweat, and tears, trying to make it work and getting a little bit uncomfortable, I might have to hop on some phone calls. I might have to go and do some things. Maybe not door knocking right now, but I'm going to have to get my butt in gear, figure some stuff out. And I think too many people are taking the easy road. Oh, it's a coronavirus. I got to practice social distancing. That don't mean you sit on Netflix all day watching Tiger Kings, right? Like get on the phone, man. You told me this thing, and I remember you said, when this happens, this is what you said. You said, when this happens, you make money. When this don't happen, you don't make money. You taught me that, right? So every time I'm in here and I'm stagnant or we got people do, like, are you doing this? Put that sucker to your ear and just start making some phone calls. Everybody can do this with social distancing. So why don't people do it, man? Why don't people do it?
Well, look, man, the reality is, look, Ben, you've hired people who have worked for you as salespeople, and they didn't work hard enough in the first 30 days, and then they start to get scared. Man, what, should I really dig in now? Like, it doesn't work now, you know? Then all I did was just work for another 30 days. I mean, should I really try it 100% right now? You know what? I'll just go do something else. I'll reboot. I'll reboot. And I think a lot of people asking themselves the same question. And by the way, some of that isn't bad. Some businesses need to close. Some people do not need to be in the business that they're in. And for some people, this is literally a blessing in disguise. It allows them a fresh start to get out of that shitty small business that they're in and maybe go work for a big company with bennies and a nice fat salary and 2 weeks vacation and some PTO. That is a good thing for a lot of people. But for those who really got screwed by a virus and those who were unprepared, man, it's going to be a tough road. So you got to go get your hands on money. You got to recommit to your business. You got to treat your business like it's a member of your freaking family. I told my kids from the day they were born, you have a fourth brother, and it's called commercial fleet financing. That's important as you three little buggers is. That's the way it goes, man.
I love that, man, dude. But that is so true, because if they don't think of it that way, then they're not going to take advantage of it and use it properly. They're going to waste that opportunity. And by the time you go to pass it to them, what happens? How many business owners work their butt off, man? You're talking first generation, sometimes immigrants, sometimes not. Build this amazing things, pass it on to kids or grandkids. They blow it. They completely waste it. They throw it away because they can't value it because they didn't create it.
Look, I totally get that. And I don't expect that. What I do expect is that what I can control, and most of us can control a lot more than we give ourselves credit. I told you earlier, Ben, that coffee story, right? Which I came across yesterday. Well, how come you're not on the corner serving the coffee? Well, we don't have the equipment. Well, you kind of do have the equipment. All you need is a folding table, and you can go. Dude, for the first 7 years of my business, my desk were 2 folding tables in an L shape for the first year, a folding chair, a telephone, and a Yellow Pages. So there's not 10 years into my business, Ben, I had a sign made, and it slid when I opened up the doors. I had this old Suburban, and you open up the doors and it slid in the door jamb, and it said truck financing here, with arrows pointing down to my head. And I would drive to truck stops and open the doors, put the sign up and sit there. And the truckers would come to me and we would take credit applications. Dude, you do what you got to do, man.
Dude, so that brings me to a point here that I want to cover. Are people distracted? I think people are incredibly distracted these days. Business owners especially. They're so busy, they forget to be productive. They're picking out business cards. What are they doing, man? Like, why are people so distracted, and what can they really do? Let's give them some practical tips here. Folks at home, what we talk about money sheet, and I want you to bring this topic up because I learned so much practical stuff from you. What do people need to do to get productive right now and stop being busy?
All right, the first thing people have to do right now is, number one, they have to re-visualize what they want their business to look like on the outside of this. How does it look? What is my opportunity to reinvent it? And I mean, like, to the T. Who is going to work there again? What is it going to look like? What product am I going to only sell? Who is going to be my ideal customer? How am I going to reshape this whole thing? That's one of the most important things, because we will get to the other side of this thing. The second thing is we absolutely have to get our hands on some cash. Whether it's government surplus, whether it's friends or family, whether it's credit lines, if you believe in your business, go get your hands on as much cash as you possibly can. You will need more cash than you think. The third thing that we have to do, and nobody thinks about this, is you have to focus on your accounts receivable. And for people that may not have big accounts receivables, your accounts receivables are going to stop coming in. Your customers are going to stop paying the open invoices they have to you, and you need to strike deals now to get as much of that brought in as possible. Shit, if you have to discount at 20% to get paid this week, go do it. Get your cash. Now, the fourth thing you have to do, and this is like right in my wheelhouse and yours too, you gotta freaking sell. You gotta get on the phone and call every single customer that you've ever done business with. You have to ramp up your activity to levels that you probably have never worked at before, nor has your staff. You need to track every piece of data. If you look, I do a call with my executive management team at 9:45 every morning right now and at 4:45. And the thing I care about is how many freaking phone calls did our team make? And if that number's down, I want to know who it was and what was the reason that they were down. The funnel looks like this, right, Ben? Everybody's focused at the bottom of the funnel. What comes out at the bottom should be dollar bills. You need to worry about the top right now.
Fill it, man. Fat pipelines.
Top of the funnel. Huh?
Yeah. But that fat pipeline, you got to create that pipeline, man. You got to drop it in there. But you said it right there. People don't want to sell. Dude, I want to be in business, but I don't want to sell people. That's ridiculous. But here's the thing, folks. If you don't believe in your product, your service, and yourself first and foremost, you shouldn't be in business. Matt is right. I think the 80-20 rule in life applies now more than ever. And a lot of people that thought they were business owners realize they're not business owners. Or the people that thought they were good business owners realized, dude, I might not be that good of a business owner. I think it's going to become obvious when the tide goes out and see who's sitting there butt naked and who's actually got some shorts on. But people are afraid to sell, Matt. I don't want to seem salesy. Do they have that luxury anymore? Or is it time to wake up and smell the virus?
You know, look, I have an incredible tolerance for pain. So the idea of the quit, the idea of the give in, it's just not in me, man. So I really have a hard time recommending that somebody should toss in the towel. But if you can't reinvent and you can't revisualize and you can't get your hands on some real cash, then it might be time to reboot and punt and try again down the road. I'm totally comfortable with that. I really, to be honest with you, I don't think people should feel that bad about it. For those of us, the small few,
come on, man,
who just can't do it. No matter how hard you're getting punched, your corner will never throw in the towel, dude. This is our game time.
It's exciting, man. Dude, I get excited. I get excited during this time. I was on a call with some mentorship folks today, and I'm like, dude, I am excited. For those of you guys that are scared, don't be on this call because I'm excited right now. You're not going to hold me back. You see sometimes people on social media, hey, how dare you make money in a time when other people are suffering? First of all, people will always be suffering, number one, and people will always make money, number two. My winning does not equal your suffering, first of all. So I think people are getting it twisted. And right now the narrative gets changed. You're watching Fox News and all this other stuff, and they're watching, you know, things that are polluting the brain. But the reality is the winners are winning. And you're right, dude. Get on the phone. It's no time for it's not going to be easy, but it's mandatory. If you care, we talked about conviction. If you're convicted to keep your business running, you need to work. It's time to get up and go to work, right? It's like, dude, that old movie from Wall Street.
I'm at the lake right now. My boys are on the lake burning boat fuel. I'm working all day. This is, I'm a wartime CEO, Ben. I am not a peacetime
Come on, man. Let me hit the thing.
You get
not that
nothing.
One. Crap. Here we go. This is you. Like, this is Stockton. Okay, talk to us. Talk to us about always being a wartime CEO, because I think people get this confused. Like, you got a choice. Dude, you're always wartime. Am I right?
I run better during a wartime. You know, look, I have a management team that helps run my business, my primary business, but my other business is like BurnTheShips, is me and Judge. You know, I mean, that's a startup business that the two of us are grinding and building it. But look, I'm not a big comfort guy. I'm not looking for balance. I'm not looking for, you know, smell the roses and all that sort of stuff. Based on my upbringing, that makes me actually very uncomfortable, because I'm always like, where's the sucker punch coming, you know? And you have to compartmentalize that as you get older and your family gets older and all that stuff too, because it can be very disruptive to your family too if you can't compartmentalize. But in the end, you got to know who you are, dude. And this kind of environment is the environment that I thrive. I love to get out in front. I love to lead my people. I love to make them feel as though it's going to be okay by betting on me. I'm the horse you should bet on. And then I also love a little bit of freaking fear, man. Like, one of my favorite, we go cliff jumping here at the lake. And like, I love that feeling of jumping off the cliff. I love it, right? I don't know what it is. I just love it. And I love the ability that, you know, you could freaking die. Your business could go down if you don't pull the right levers and you don't do the right shit and you don't make the right decisions. You could crank it. You could go to the bottom. Man, that's the field I like playing on.
Yeah, but that's the real life field, though. Let me call it what it is. It's not some cushy thing right now, because anything happens like this virus, now you know what it means to be a business owner. Risk and reward, they mean something.
Yeah.
Talk about in your, like, because there's a lot of people here that don't understand. What do you mean burn the ship? Should I burn the whole office to the ground and claim the insurance money? That's not what you're talking about, no? Like, you're talking about how you had a business and you had to make a decision at one point where you almost had to burn down an 8-figure business so you could build a 9-figure business. What did that look like? Maybe give us a 30,000-foot view of what that looked like, man. Hey, it's Ben Humble. Thanks for checking out the show. If you like what my guest is talking about and you're getting massive value from it, then scroll to the bottom, open up the description, and follow them on social media. Support them, connect with them. Just scroll down there, click the link, and let's roll. Stay humble. Talking about how you had a business and you had to make a decision at one point where you almost had to burn down an 8-figure business so you could build a 9-figure business. What did that look like? Maybe give us a 30,000-foot view of what that looked like, man.
Yeah, the business had just done $100 million. Took me a long time to do that, close to 19 years to get it there. And it was a big dream of mine. And then it got there and it was broken. I mean, we had no culture. The only culture we cared about was make as much money as you possibly could. And I was kind of a tyrant, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm sure that may not be that hard for some people to see. And I really didn't like the way I had become and who I had become. So I chose, after one specific event, to change. And I went to the group and I said, we're going to torch the company. If the company has to go to 0 for us to win, I'm willing to do that. And we're going to recreate core values. We're going to build 4 of them. And I'm going to be relentless to the core values. And that's what we did. And it took us some time to get through it. We lost 7 of our top producers. That was a big revenue hit for us. It cost a lot of money, and I was okay with it because I was so committed to the change. And then last year we did $160 million. So it was a
boom. Dude, that's awesome. Sorry to drop the bomb on that, man. Okay.
Yeah, but most importantly is sometimes people get caught up as, well, you could have afforded to do that. Not necessarily. I mean, 0 is still 0, my brother, right? Yeah. I was just that committed to no longer being that leader, to even being that individual, and not working in that environment anymore. I had to change. And everybody in business right now can use this problem, this environment, as the opportunity to have the courage to change.
This is what I've learned from you and Judge and some of my other mentors is that a lot of us get into business, the whole E-Myth Revisited mindset. We jump in as the entrepreneur. Because we're very good at doing the tactical work, we become the tactician, maybe even the manager to a point. We revert back to the tactician. We play this hop and dance back and forth. And on our whole lives, we end up becoming the guy who cleans the carpets instead of the guy who owns the carpet cleaning company. That's what happens. And I didn't realize until I really met you and Judge and hired some key mentors that there's another level of business development. And it starts with personal business owner development. Understanding that what got you here is not going to get you there. Understanding that the hiring, cousin Hans is not necessarily the way that you grow and you scale a business. At some level, the business has to become a professional organization. It has to hire executive level management. You got to bring in competent people that are better than you at those items. And I think that's where a lot of business people struggle. I don't know if it's ego, dude. I don't know if it's other things, but businesses fail to get over that small business mindset into an actual organization. What does that process look like? Because once I saw that and I came to your event and I saw a roadmap, I'm like, holy crap. There's an actual roadmap to become a real business, like a real boy, Pinocchio, versus being a pretend business owner my whole life. Because I saw a lot of business owners fail, in the last few years. What does that transition look like? Maybe you can give some insight to folks who are in that small business realm.
I think it's a very personal process. So you have to understand who you are. So what do we do at Burn the Ships? The first thing we teach is all of our attendees take a personality test and we go over the results. It is literally step one of Burn the Ships process, the roadmap that we teach at our boot camps. So people begin to truly understand who they are, why they do what they do, and why the people they work with perceive them the way they do.
Okay.
Introspective process. But then we quickly move to some other things. Are you a leader in rhythm, structure, or are you a leader in chaos? What are you doing to build out your end game? Do you really know how this business is supposed to end? Or is it just really this little lifestyle business that makes you a little bit more than if you were working for somebody else? Then we get into all kinds of stuff like market leader content, a niche will get you rich, competitive analysis of who are your competitors and what are they not doing, and then how can you become the 800-pound gorilla in that? It's just an incredible process in which we teach the roadmap in the language of business from two guys who have done it, and we don't know where the roadmap exists anywhere else. We know where people can get motivation and mindset and hashtag grind and hashtag hustle, but we don't know where somebody can get a structured roadmap in a day-and-a-half format that we teach. Not to mention it's fun as hell. It's long, it's grinding, but we enjoy great food. We smoke cigars. At our next ones, we shoot these automatic rifles and all kinds of fun stuff to break up the time. It's just an incredible event, always in Dallas. People can go to burntheships.com or btsbootcamp.com, learn everything they want to learn. Our next one is scheduled for May 14th and 15th.
Dude, that's awesome. I love it. And drop it on the screen, Hans, where people can get signed up for this. If you haven't been to one of these folks, I met some awesome friends here. You get in a high-level room. We talked with Tim Bratz the other day about there's 3 things you need to do as a real estate investor. Learn to find deals, learn to find money, and join a mastermind. That's it. Yeah. Because all the other tactical stuff that you get are going to be in the mastermind. The tactical blueprint, man, I think that's one of the biggest parts is that yours is the ultimate data over drama. Right? Because a lot of us business owners, we're drama. We're about what I feel, what I want, what I know. And that's important to a degree because it helps you establish the tone of your business, helps you establish the reality by which your business conducts business. But at the same time, if you don't have an end game, if you don't understand, that it goes from, culture to core values, to rhythm, to process, to hiring, to grow. Like if you don't understand, there's a specific process for that. You can't really create. And what I love from you guys, you created a 12-month plan, man. It was like, here's the plan. And you were very tactical. And you know what? Coming in as I'm in that predictive index testing or whatever that we did, I'm a strategist. So for me, when I came in, you gave me a tactical blueprint for 2 days. I said, this is how my business goes from small to large business mindset, dude. And people don't know. It's like going to school. It's like getting a college degree in 2 days on what you need to do with your business. So I think that element is so key. And the big thing I want to touch on is it's coming from two practitioners.
Yeah.
You run a 9 business. Judge sold a nine-figure business. You run a 9-figure. This is real guys doing real business.
Yeah. No, that's the best.
You're not some fake guru, right? Are you a fake guru on social media?
No, dude. I was in business 20 years before I ever made a Facebook post.
Okay.
I was cold calling out of the yellow pages long before even the internet existed, man.
Right.
You know, Judge and I have paid our dues, and we're willing to share the process that we've learned to try to condense time for people, and that's really what happens. And you know, Ben, as supportive as you are for us, we have there are a lot of wonderful success stories that come out of our alumni group. It's very, very powerful. Judge and I were always concerned, like, you know, are 10% of the people going to do anything with it, or 20%? And it's more like 10% or 20% don't do anything with it, right? It's like 80, 90% of the attendees take it and put it into play when they get back.
Yeah, that's because we're already convicted. See, I think what you guys do well is you attract the people that truly are going to do something with the information.
Yeah.
If you're a business owner and you've been grinding for 10 years, hustling, all these adjectives that we use to label ourselves. I'm a grinder. Dude, I want to build. I want to create wealth. I don't necessarily want to be a grinder. Like, that doesn't sound like fun to me, grinding. But I understand it's part of the process sometimes. But I think what happens is when you're like, here's a solution to the problem, all you got to do is implement. Dude, it's real life. Because I don't need a lot of motivation. I just need some clarity and some direction.
Right.
And then when I came back, and I told you before, I was in a week or two of solitude. My team didn't know what the hell I was doing. Like, what are you doing? You're so quiet. You're never this quiet. I'm like, some stuff's about to go down. And it did go down. The ship went down. We lost almost half our folks. But I'm not saying that because it was fun. Dude, it was hard. It was probably the hardest thing I've ever done as a business owner. But coming back now, you know, months and months later, it was the smartest thing I've ever done. And it was probably the wisest thing as a leader I ever could have done. Because some folks that were working here, dude, they weren't happy. They weren't happy. Now, people want to win. And when they're not in an environment where they're winning, they're not happy. The best thing I ever could have done was liberate somebody and help them find another job or another position elsewhere that actually helped them. So people who are struggling right now saying, man, Matt, you're speaking so much wisdom. I know there needs to be a massive change. My employees, you know, they're causing ruckus. My customers don't like it. What does it take, man, for somebody to burn? Is it just a decision, a maturity, and a process? Or what does it take emotionally for somebody to be willing to start that conversation?
Dude, I hate to be cliche about it, but you have to be sick and tired of being sick and tired. I mean, you just have to revisualize this experience, this entrepreneurial journey that turned out to be a nightmare, and recognize that you have the courage to fix it. You just have to become relentless to core values and a system. That's what is required to torch and to reinvent yourself. But some people, by the way, it's harder in good economic times. When we're going through what we're going through now, it's a lot easier to torch the thing because you got this excuse called coronavirus and a slowing economy, and you have the opportunity to blow some people out and revamp. But when it's real good and you do it like we did, it's freaking 10 times harder.
I love it. Boom, there it is. So I'm going to drop a bomb with that. There we go. So folks, for every loss is an opportunity. Matt, it's been so awesome having you on the show, man. Thank you so much for dropping value with us. I know you're spending time with your boys in there, and I really appreciate you taking it. Folks, make sure you head over to my man, BurnTheShips.com. Everybody share.
Make sure to subscribe to Ben on YouTube so you can stay up to date on everything Humble, featuring daily episodes of the Humble Podcast and weekly video content providing motivation, real estate strategies, and personal development for everyday life. Also, follow Ben on Facebook and Instagram for daily interactions. Check out humble.ceo and download a chapter of Ben's new book, From Communism to Capitalism, absolutely free.